Shine a light. Flashy light.
So, welcome back to the Sketchbook Heroes podcast with me, Elias.
And me, Robert.
And this is episode numbered
60th.
Yeah. In collaboration with
21 Draw.
Exactly. And 21 Draw offers online courses and books on how to become a better artist no matter the skill level that you're at.
Exactly what he said, but maybe a little bit slower. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And also, it's by renowned artists that are awesome that we mentioned on the previous episode. So check that out. No, but seriously, check 21 Draw out. They have awesome stuff, and they're giving us some opportunities to, like give out books and have events and cool guests. So we totally recommend them. Check out 21-draw.com.
21-draw.com. Or their Instagram, 21draw.
On Instagram.
I was like,
simple as pie. I was like, there's nothing. So, yeah. And if you want to write to us, you can always just write to hello@sketchbookheroes.com.
That is hello@sketchbookheroes.com.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Just.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get this show on the road.
Let's start some intro talk.
Artists of the world unite. Step out of your comfort zone into the danger zone.
They loved 80s cartoons, even with beards and tattoos. You know they haven't changed at all. Filling sketchbooks every night, getting better with each line. Sketchbook hero, imagination burning. Sketchbook hero, pick up the sketchbook hero. They don't seem to have any line.
Yeah. So, how's it going?
It's all good.
Yeah.
I haven't done much since last time.
Well, I
that's a lie, but
You
still.
always do fucking things.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, last time we talked,
We talked.
and I think maybe the episodes might be a little bit jumbled up now. So if you're listening, we don't care. But last time we talked, at least, you just done the Gothenburg Wacom gig.
Yeah.
And you've had like one of the most stressful weeks in your life, it seemed. And your
Yes.
brain felt like it was about to melt out of your nose.
It was.
Yes.
It was. I'm not feeling that, but I haven't taken it that much easier. I just didn't have events. I didn't have work. So I've been working on my home garage gym thing.
I mean,
And-
that could be more stressful sometimes.
This was probably, though, the easiest time that I've worked with the garage because I've finally reached a point where I don't need people to help me out.
Nice.
So now it's mostly just like putting back panels and just like closing everything up and then have my wife paint it because she wanted to and I don't want to. I just don't want it to be blue, baby blue that the
What
previous
color?
owner,
What color are you going?
like some light gray shit.
Yeah, just basic.
Yeah, because I'm like the thing is it's plywood, so it's not gonna look great either way, like the walls.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put plaster because I don't want to, like hit a dumbbell in it and then just break it.
That it works that way with the plywood too. Just
Yeah,
saying.
but
It's a little bit more
isn't-
durable,
Yeah,
yeah.
plywood has a bit more flexibility to it, whereas
Plaster.
plaster
yeah.
you just hit it. Like
Yeah.
I
It's like
leaned
one of
on
those-
it and then just
It's like one of those tempura pillows. What do you call them?
Exactly,
You know,
it's
it
just
just
like-
remembers the shape. Yeah. Shunk. Shunk. Fuck.
and I'm probably at some point gonna smash into that thing. So
Of course. Stressful day at work. Take it out.
son of a bitch, wall. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not happening.
Dropping shit all over the place. Fuck it.
It
All
adds ambience or ambiance.
Ambiance. Yeah. I haven't done much either. Thanks for asking.
Yes, I was gonna get to that.
No. What have I been doing? So this weekend I've been painting.
Mm-hmm.
So showed you the images just now.
Mm-hmm.
The old place is getting a little bit of a refurnish with the new first lady.
I thought you were actually drawing when you said painting. I totally didn't refer to your walls.
Yeah, no.
I was like, what have you been drawing, Robert?
I really wish. Like, I've had a new surge of inspiration, but I haven't been able to actually put pen to paper and do anything with it apart from just photo bashing and trying to like develop my my geotrashy stuff into a. So I haven't drawn shit. I've painted my apartment, but yeah. So that's the only thing I've been painting on, except for skins, obviously. But yeah, my walls, and that's pretty much it. I haven't done anything new really. Still just trying to get more people to come in and get some work done.
Sweet tattoos.
Yeah, and I'm still working on.
I totally forgot to shout that.
No, it's all
We
right.
should do that.
It's gonna be cut
So
down.
guys, if you like the podcast, always rate us on whatever, like iTunes, wherever you can rate us. Son of a bitch, just put that thing in the way. So it's that thing. Okay, sorry, it's something scratching.
Scratchy.
So
Itchy,
if you have the
scratchy
possibility to rate the
sock.
podcast on iTunes podcast or wherever the fuck you listen, we really appreciate it. It really does help.
It does.
And with that said, fuck this shit. Let's get this
the-
episode
Yes,
started.
let's do
Today
it.
we're talking about
School.
we're gonna revisit the school thing.
Education.
Education.
And let's see how far we can derail from this topic.
All right.
With
The
that
art of
said,
learning.
Let's go. And we're back.
Sí.
Hello.
Claro. Vale.
Hello.
Hola, español. Sí.
So, school.
Yeah. School.
This was your idea.
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
No. God damn it.
You wrote me this morning saying.
Yes, but I
School.
thought you were going to make it awesome with your awesome personality.
Oh, yes.
No,
It's so awesome.
I don't know. I just wanted to talk about, and when I said school, I didn't really mean school in general, like just like, like primary school and that shit.
Yeah,
I
so
just
what-
talk about,
What was the idea?
my idea was more about learning. I think learning is the question. It's about like the way you choose to learn.
Yeah.
And not being confined by, because I'm seeing people, or like not being confined by systems, that were established to send people out to work at factories.
Yeah.
And how many people haven't we met up to this point in life on conventions, on, like art events abroad,
On the train.
on the train that also draws. That's going to be fun for you, new listeners.
Episode 2.
Yeah, exactly. I also draw. No.
Malip notes.
But yes, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But I'm just saying that there are so many people that I've met that say they've gone to art school for like 4 or 5 years, like 3 years, whatever the fuck it is. That's a lot of fucking time.
It is.
And they can't draw for shit. And I'm thinking, is it are they lazy? Big possibility. I know I was at some point,
I'm still lazy. I'm always
There
lazy.
you go. And we're all lazy in our way, Like when I say lazy, it's usually we're all lazy when it comes to certain things. I'm very lazy if you tell me to sort of like do something that I find boring, but I'll go out and run, very far because I don't know how miles work. No, but I'll run really far. Like, I don't know, 10 kilometers without a problem, even if I'm lazy to do whatever the fuck you asked me to do.
It's like
And
being selectively lazy.
selectively lazy. I use exactly that word.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking like people are always, there are so many people that write to me like, oh, I'm going to attend art school and I'm always happy for people that they're doing something that they're passionate about.
Yeah.
But I also want people to think about, is that smart? Like, is it
worth it?
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Because it's 4 fucking years or 3 years, whatever the
And
fuck
a lot
you
of
wanna
money
do.
most of the time.
A lot of money. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. And you're going to pursue a road that will get you in debt,
Yeah.
depending on what country you are in. But
Most likely.
yeah, exactly. If it's not like, primary and shit like that. But when it comes to like student loans and shit, it's so not worth it. Unless the art school, you're going to spend a lot of hours drawing
Yeah.
and you're actually going to have some type of skill by the end of that. It's mostly on you though.
Mm.
But if the teachers suck and, like if they demotivate you, it might not be enough sometimes, depending on who you are, to push through.
Yeah.
And having, I don't know, like school costs different in different countries, but still, let's say you have like 300,000. Oh, that's crowns. So you have $30,000 as a like once you're done, if not more, depending on how prestigious the school is. But I really want people to, like, when they choose these type of sort of schools or educations, like, make sure that you can actually, or that you're the type of person that benefits from it.
Yeah.
Because I was really good at school, but I only performed well because I had expectations, and I really wanted to like live up to the expectations.
Yeah.
I didn't care shit for school, but I was seen as the good kid and the good kid thing, and they were always saying nice things about me. So every time I did something opposite that had a very negative
stamp.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they were like, oh well he's fine, he'll get back to it, and that pressure, somewhere when I turned 14, 15, I dropped out of everything. Yeah. I dropped out of everything. I just like, fuck this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do art. I don't want to do, anything. I just want to go to China and become a Ninja Turtle, something like that.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before, so I'm not going to dive into this. Yeah. But I really want, why should you get like indebted when you could pay so much less on, an online course, if that works for you? If you're the type of person that has the perseverance to sit there for hours, or like put up your own workflow that works for you. And then once you've done your 4 hours, then you take a break, you go do something else, and you've only invested, like, let's say, what does an online course today cost? They can cost anything between like $100.
Yeah. Even less.
Or even less. Fuck.
Like $50 probably.
Depending on who's, yeah. And I would say that the quality of like what's out there is so much better today than it ever was when I was starting off, or when you were starting off. Like, so there are so many options if you're just not lazy, and you just like do some work.
Yeah.
Just write, like we've said before, just write shit down. Because when you have it written down, it's so much easier for your mind to sort of process it, unless you're like a little 17-year-old genius Chinese kid.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm just saying that when you have it visually in front of you and it says like, this will teach me this by this artist, and, it's easier to make a decision, like see, and then you check, like pretentious art schools or, like renowned art schools. They're not all pretentious. But I'm just saying that you should really investigate actually into, like, I would say first yourself, like what type of person are you?
Yeah.
Because I was never good at school once I stopped pretending.
No.
Because I didn't have the focus to listen to people talk so much shit during, like 80% of all the classes to do the one thing that I love to do. And I feel that even when you sort of choose a school that you should, like, I'm going to learn so much here, there's still like so much of the time that is wasted doing bullshit. Like, oh, we're going to write a paper on art history. And sure, if you're interested in art history, that's good. Then you should do that if you want to. But for me, I have no interest. Like, the interest that I have, I will like spend, a few hours reading myself. But when I feel that this has no longer a value to me, I don't have to continue investing time in this, then I can move on and invest the time in the stuff that I like. And that's the way that I personally work the best. So I don't know.
I mean, I get that, but I also, because I have gone to all the schools. And
you've gone to more schools than...
And the good thing about going to school is that you get taught stuff that you never even knew about. So...
You have examples? Because I'm curious.
For me, I had never tried Photoshop before, so that was a first for me.
Yeah.
Like, you discovered that by yourself.
Yep.
I had school to teach me the basics of Photoshop.
Yep.
And how to apply that into a website, or how to make your own portfolio. Like, you have people actually telling you from their own experience how they did stuff, and then you choose if you want to use that or if you want to do your own thing. Most of the time I've done my own thing anyways. But I've always been very happy with the stuff that has been taught. Obviously, going to school always feels like a waste of time when you are there. For me, at least. Like, because my attention span is the same as yours.
Yeah.
It's only that, like, I'm way too lazy to sit down and do this research by myself.
Yeah.
It started in upper secondary or high school. That was just to, get a high school degree. But I was very lucky to get into the art program and actually found out that I really liked doing all this stuff. Also got introduced to the whole sculpting thing, charcoals, live art drawing classes. All of that stuff is from school. So I've always been very happy with it. When I started university, I just wanted to get like an idea of what I could work with, like what's available for somebody with my skill set in the world. And then I chose a very random program or course that was information design, and it's a very niched thing, even though it's very broad in the sense of you do everything. But everything you did was for some sort of client. So even if it was a very, we did realistic watercolor drawings of houses, just like a flat house.
Yeah.
But there was such a big thing to get that done. And I mean, if I would have tackled that subject without any teachers or anybody telling me how to do it, I wouldn't have known how to go about to
definitely.
do what I did.
I totally see that. But that is more practical application.
Yes.
And that I respect, because that's why I love schools like Hyper Island and stuff, where they work with clients or, like businesses come in and they present
They give
a
them
problem,
a brief,
a
pretty
brief,
much.
exactly. So they present like a problem that they want solved within whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And then the students get to solve that problem, in a creative way.
And I think that's a really cool way to do to teach.
Yeah.
Because that puts it all in the hands of the student, and it's
Exactly.
like, do you want to do a good job or a semi-good job, or like it's on you.
Exactly.
You can't blame a teacher because I mean I don't know how they
interact with the
exactly.
teacher. Well, I think they're more like guides, and I think they're there to support them. Like, oh, well, have you guys tried like approaching it from like I don't know, because Prakash went there.
Yeah,
and he learned coding. There's no like, oh, they teach code there. No, he just picked it up.
Yeah.
Probably to solve something or because he thought it was fun, and then he just kept, like evolving. And now he works with that.
Yeah.
That is his main occupation now.
Exactly.
And he was an artist.
And tattoo artist.
And tattoo artist, yeah.
That
and we were
lasted
gonna have him as a guest, but we just couldn't make it work.
No, he could make it work.
He
We
could.
were ready for him.
We were ready for him. True.
Yeah.
Son of a
He
bitch.
let us down.
I'll find you. But I'm too lazy to go to leading us.
God, I haven't talked to him in ages. Hope he's
We
doing
talk
all right.
online. We talk online.
Okay,
It's fine.
good.
So
So he's still alive.
Yeah.
Very good. But yeah, no. So I just recently studied. This was just a little over half a year ago. I was still in school.
Yeah.
So
In Australia.
in Australia. So
That's why he was gone.
yeah, exactly. So for you who actually have no idea who I am or what I've done, well, go do some research. God damn it.
Yeah, episode 10, motherfucker. From zeros to sketchbook heroes.
So initially when I went to Australia, I was very happy to go back to school because I'd reached a point in the tattoo business where I was like, well, it's going really good. I'm getting a lot of bookings and it feels like I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
But is it? Like, I wanted to really question myself here and like, because I can get really comfortable and I know how I am. But let's just take comfortable Robert and throw him out the window and see, like, what's he going to be missing when he's like flying out the window. So going back to school, it was very exciting in the beginning. I went to school. After like the first class, I was like, God.
I made a huge mistake.
Why did I think this was a good idea? Because it's like, I'm old now. I'm 35 years old. We're 35 years old.
35, yeah.
The kids that I'm studying with are like 18, 19 years old.
What?
Maybe 20. So I feel a lot of people that came into class were just there to get some extra credit. And they didn't realize the amount of work it would take to actually become good at painting or drawing or using this media.
Yeah.
And it was just sad because you could see them giving up before they even started trying.
Aww.
And I had to be like that extra, almost like a tutor.
Yeah,
like,
I get it. Like trying to give like subtle feedback.
Just try doing this and this, and like staying positive and trying to like push people forward and showing them how to do stuff. But
that's tricky though, dude.
Yeah.
It's really hard to discover because I have the same problem. Like when I think back to what we were talking about, even on the last episode, about when we were trying to make the comic.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is one of the most, I don't know, I think I've gotten better at not being angry at people for being lazy because I can't really see what they're coming from, but I'm guessing that they're struggling with all the things that I once struggled with.
Yeah.
So I try to not, I just don't care enough about, I don't invest time in being angry at other people because I've like learned through my own family, for example, that it's not worth the time you invest in being angry at people when I could be doing my shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I just rather just invest time in drawing, podcasting, freelancing, doing my work, being with my family, building my, doing
the stuff you want to do.
The stuff that I want to invest time in. Because I'm 35, like I'm not getting younger apparently. That's a dumb thing.
We'll get there, bro.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
No. And I don't know. I'm happy with where I am. And I just want to invest. I don't like wasting time doing shit I hate or being with people that I don't like.
But that's because we've gotten a totally different perspective of time now that we've become old again.
Maybe,
quotation mark.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, especially for you have a family now.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You have the house, you got the car, almost got the fucking cat. And
yeah.
You got
the cat
everything.
is on loan.
Which means, like, whenever you have some time off, you never have time off. And I've said it a billion times. Whereas me, I'm still like, that sort of teenage bachelor dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I have a girlfriend, and no, she doesn't take up that much time, actually. Like, I'm living a very good, free life. I could do whatever I want, really. But still, I feel like I don't have enough time.
Yeah. But
and we talk about this all the time. You and me talk about it all the time. Me and Anna talk about it all the time. It's ridiculous. Like, I think we all need to stop and, like, stop focusing on wasting time, getting time, and just live and do whatever you want.
Yeah, but I think that is the most important thing. Just like doing the things you want to do when you want to do them.
I think when you're that young,
18,
20, somewhere between 18, 20, you don't have that perspective of time.
Oh, no, dude.
You got an infinity to live. Like, you're fucking immortal.
Dude.
So you can do whatever the fuck you want, which means you don't give a shit about anything.
Yeah.
That's why I guess people don't do a lot of stuff at school.
Yeah. And I think the people that are driven at that age, they succeed like in a lot of things. They fail in a lot of things as well. But I think that's how they're sort of gaining the experience fast.
Definitely.
Because, we were talking about school, right? Let's try to get back to that. So fuck whatever I was saying. And then what I'm trying to say.
It was all connected to school. I felt so.
Okay, yeah. But what I'm saying is that some of them figured that shit out early. I personally did not. I was no wonder child at an early age. I didn't figure shit out. I just tried doing the things that I wanted to do, and it made me poor. But I earned enough money to at least pay my rent.
Yeah.
And that's always a win.
But again, you're a fighter, and you push through the hardship of not having money but still wanting to learn this craft doing the stuff. Whereas maybe somebody today put in the same situation might have just ended up working at Bauhaus and being that guy forever.
Yeah, being the me of a couple of years ago.
They settled in, and they realize that, oh, I'm not going to be Insta famous,
Yeah.
and my whole world is over.
Yeah, you
before I
cannot
even-
rely on becoming Insta famous.
No.
These are controlled platforms with algorithms that will not work in your
No.
favor unless you are, that percentage of people that create stuff that is like immediately lovable,
Yeah.
I draw shit and I think I'm good. Although I get tired of my stuff, I believe in whatever the fuck I'm creating.
Yeah.
But it still isn't the way that people react to, like some other artists.
No.
Like they can have 0 followers and build it up so fast because there's something about that style that just resonates so well with people.
Exactly. I don't have that.
I don't have that either, and I'm fine with that. Like
Yeah.
you can't rely on becoming
I'm not
that.
fine with that, but I
gotten-
haven't given up. Like
Okay.
I'm still trying to develop myself, and I want to
same.
become better. And maybe one day I'll be that guy.
Yeah.
You know, that's the goal.
But
Then
I-
if I don't ever get that goal, like or reach that goal, I'm still
You're fine.
happy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like you can't just rely on that one thing.
No,
you know what I
no,
mean?
no,
That's
no.
what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
like you can't just have what do you call it? Like all eggs in one basket
Yeah,
type of thing. Like you should have more ideas of what you want to do and explore shit.
Yeah. No, you have to.
Yeah, because
Otherwise, like
I think like where we started, just find out who you are. Like I know it's hard, but we all know like you've been going to school up till the point where you have to pay for your tuition. Like where your parents maybe aren't paying and you're getting like student loans and shit. When you get to that point, just before you make that decision, because you don't know how these student loans might be affecting you forever, so having those like hovering above you, Sweden has, they're okay. Like you can
It's
still
good.
live a normal life with the student loans,
definitely.
but
The interest is nothing.
Yeah.
It's the best loan you can get, really. So
yeah, but in other countries, they're terrible.
yeah,
And you'll
and
just-
so expensive too.
so expensive, and you'll be paying them for the rest of your life, and you might need to take a shitty job to cover up a half-assed art tuition
Yeah, yeah,
or like debt. And I'm just saying there are so many options nowadays. Like if you go to like, for example, our our partner 21 Draw. There are like Schoolism. There's there are so many, and they
Skillshare.
cost Skillshare. Like no matter what you have, there is even like Proco TV that we've talked about before. Like all these things,
available to you.
all available to you.
Exactly.
You could pay for some of them to get like more in-depth stuff, maybe get some feedback and review shit, but you could also just do the free stuff, and then just take a video from there and like put your own, like if you're not lazy and you're like me where you can't just like follow the one thing, just put it together yourself. Like, oh, this is what I need to learn. And with the internet, you can pretty much find out all you need. Like, I'm not
More.
saying that, yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking that some like work-specific stuff, like how they work at Disney or how that might not all be available, because they have a lot of the stuff that isn't covered.
And most of that stuff is like if you watch a video about somebody working at some place,
Yeah.
it's always with that sort of the filter of that place.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So every
you need
place
to
is
make it
different.
sound like the best place
Yeah.
ever to work.
Yeah.
It's never like 100% honest, because most places where you are employed as a creative person, you're not going to be very creative.
Yeah.
Like,
Depends.
you-
I
you,
guess it
you,
depends.
you, you get to draw stuff and you get to create things, but it's always with limitations.
Oh,
Again,
definitely.
Depending on where you work, of course. But you're never going to be able to do something like 100% just for the fun of creating. It's always with limits of, it's for this client or this group of people or for this game or for this product or
Yeah, but I think that's what you need to remember.
yeah.
Like, 'cause-
yeah. But just so people don't get it in their heads that like being a creative is the freest job in the world and everybody
no,
is
it
a
definitely
fucking
isn't.
slacker.
It definitely isn't. There are ways, but there's never 100% just do whatever the fuck you want
No.
to do because you're working
For
towards
somebody
for something or
yeah.
with a product that looks a certain way. The iPhone will always be the iPhone. You can't go and make it something else,
No.
because then you change the form factor so much that people don't recognize what it is, and they would never let you do that
No.
because it's Apple, for example,
Of course.
or whatever other company you're working for.
Stingy bitches.
No. So I think there's like the stuff that you can learn. I think it's just basic stuff that will get you the type of job that you want.
And that's something, like, speaking of jobs. So I'd say the one good thing to take away from studying that
Yeah.
I've realized from at least studying now.
Do you mean like studying in school?
Yes.
Yes.
In
'Cause
school.
since we're talking about both the different ways of studying things.
Because when you, if you go to an art school, for instance, or a school that has a program which is over a year of doing a lot of artsy stuff, you're going to be able to test out a lot of different things that you're not going to be able to test out just doing it by yourself, because you're going to have to find out a lot of different things on your own, whereas it gets handed to you in school.
Yeah.
And the good thing about that is you learn what you don't like doing.
Yeah, that is
So that's
true.
the best takeaway I have, at least, from going to school. So, yeah, I learned instantly that, all right, I like doing portraits. I like drawing by hand. I don't like working a lot with color or watercolor or stuff like that. Like, I try it out, but I know it's not my thing. So, like, the further or the more I studied, the more I could understand where I should focus my creative powers, which landed in the tattoo business and more like the T-shirt print design phase. Like, I'm not the best character designer or stuff like that. I could do it, but I've slowly realized that that's not my go-to field.
Yeah.
But again, it's like we said, we're old now. We've done all of the other things. We have worked with pretty much everything that we can in the realm of art as a business. So, but yeah. Like working and school combined, I've definitely eliminated so many things from the table of possibilities to work with. And now I can see, like, it's almost like a tidy desk now. And I can really see,
I
like,
get it.
I like that thing, I like that thing, and that thing, and that thing. And then I had this little thing as a backup.
Yeah.
But it's all clear on the table, and there's no more question marks. Right?
Yeah, but that's fun as well, because when you said that, I was starting to get like images of what I've realized. I don't want to do logos, anything sort of like graphic, that is like towards others.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing like the Sketchbook Heroes logo or doing stuff like that for myself, because I know that I'm going to do something that I think is fun.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like creating, like a just Swedish, a shoe shop, like making their logo, like, oh, we sell these exclusive shoes. I don't care.
No.
But so I don't want to do like graphical stuff like I'm talking about logos and
Exactly.
pamphlets and book layouts and shit like that.
That's it. And then that's because what I studied was sort of graphic design,
yeah.
but realized that I'm more of an illustrator.
Yeah.
And that's for people listening, you might not even know the difference between a graphic designer and an illustrator. But there's a very big difference between the two. Because when I started studying, I didn't know.
Oh, shit.
So I
Okay,
started studying or went after graphic design because my brain just thought it was
art.
Yeah,
Just like
exactly.
art.
You get to draw stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that's all I needed to know. If I
Yeah.
just did a little bit more research, I would have learned that, oh shit, that's probably not what I should be studying.
But didn't you have like industrial design
Yeah,
as well
yeah.
in that?
We did everything.
Yeah.
And I'm super grateful because I got to try out animation and 3D modeling.
Yeah.
And like I said, the whole basics with watercolor, house painting
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, exactly. Architectural
Yeah.
sort of.
So really got to try everything.
Because I remember they were super like picky with like the
Oh yeah. The
like,
lines.
The everything needed to be like correctly measured
Exactly.
and painted and
And today you have a computer program that does all that
Yeah.
for you, but we had to do it by hand with rulers and like ellipse templates and
yeah.
everything. Like I had to calculate how this thing would look, or how you shrink it in this angle with this perspective, and like mathematical formulas for everything.
Yes.
I loved it.
Oh, I hate
I
it.
loved
I just
it.
hear it and I just like, ugh.
To me, it's almost like building a model airplane or
No,
something.
no, I get
Like,
it. I get it. Why would people would love it as well? Like,
It's so, I don't know, relaxing in a way.
yeah, okay.
To me, it's like, laying down a puzzle.
yeah.
You just, you have to think about a lot of things, which makes you not think about anything else.
Mhm.
So, like,
No, I see where you're going with
and especially because you had to, well, first you sketch it up with pen, and then you had to ink it, and then you had to scan it and color it, or color it by hand. So, like, it was so time consuming. And if you fucked it up, you fucked it up.
you
Like,
start over.
you have- exactly.
I remember your flashlight.
yes. And that
Holy
was the
shit.
first easy thing. And then I
Yeah.
actually did like a full-on motor that I had to disassemble, which, like, I didn't even have the tools to
Jesus Christ.
disassemble a motor because it was so complex. So, like, I had to, yeah. But I loved it. It was so much fun. And I loved it because school let me do it, and it was an assignment to do for school. Like, I didn't waste time doing it because I had to do it.
Yeah.
Something like that would have never, ever entered my radar if I did what you did and, like, fucked off from school and did my own thing. I would never have looked at it and said, that's fun.
Yeah.
Like, but seriously, like, I haven't done it in ages, but just talking about it, I get like, fuck,
Yeah.
maybe I should do something like that again.
But that's what I'm saying as well. Like, for me, I think had I had the mental sort of focus to go to school and actually do things there, I would have definitely become a better artist. But knowing myself, I would not have become a better. I think me dropping off and finding the passion is what led me to do what I'm doing. I don't think I would have had it. Like, if I had gone to the schools that I got into, the art schools,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would have had the same thing.
You never know.
No, that's the thing. You never know. But the cool thing is, I'm 35, and I don't have debt except for the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is the first real thing I have bought that is like that I'm indebted, and it's the value of the house that I can sell. And then
it's gonna
I'm
be such
debt-free.
a big comfort, like, just knowing that, that's it. Yeah.
So I just didn't want debt. I've always been scared of debt because I've seen my parents, my brother, everyone just get indebted for stupid shit. And I just didn't want that. Now, that's not why I dropped out. That just came later as an afterthought. Like, shit, I don't have debt. Everyone else has debt. They're paying the CSN that we have in Sweden. That is the student loan thing.
Yeah.
And I don't have that. And I was so grateful later, though. Like, that this came after. But that's why I wanted to sort of talk about it again, like, on the podcast. Like, don't be so quick on accumulating debt, especially if you live in a country where it'll fuck you in the ass
Yes.
later.
Especially,
and all you have is a fucking art degree that is worth nothing because you learned nothing.
Exactly. And that's, I think, another takeaway from school is that they teach you how to use these tools, but they don't teach you how to, like, actually use them in the real world. There's never anybody talking about social media and how you would handle that because they don't know.
Yeah.
They're just just a teacher doing their job, and on their job they have a plan, and it says today we're doing watercolor or color pencil or whatever the fuck it is that day. That's all they're focusing on. So I would always try to ask, like, so how would you market, like, yourself? Because the teacher we had was Eduardo, awesome guy, who worked as a teacher and full-on artist, and he worked with a lot of color pencil stuff.
Yeah.
Very.
Well, what did he say regarding, like, getting work and shit?
He couldn't.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Like,
That
he
is
couldn't explain how to do it or how to go about it.
How did he go about it?
He got lucky this one time and got to exhibit it through a friend at a gallery, and somebody saw his stuff, and, like, he's still struggling.
Okay,
He's not-
Okay. He never really.
because obviously he's teaching. So,
Yeah.
but
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to be in that position.
no,
So I'm saying just like find your online course, whether it be something that we recommend or if it's something else that you found before, just do that. Like invest time, plan it out. Like I'm going to do
Exactly.
this. I'm going to draw cars because I want to work with cars. I'm just going to fucking draw cars. I'm going to draw all the cars.
definitely.
And then reach out to people that work in those fields. You might not get, like we talked about last time, you're trying to reach out to someone with like a bazillion followers. You can try, definitely
Yeah.
try.
Sometimes you're lucky.
Sometimes you're lucky if what you write is genuine and they see it.
Exactly. Because I think
Uh,
that's the biggest problem.
I think that's
almost.
the biggest problem.
Like,
Yeah.
if you have that
I
many
still miss
followers,
messages. Yeah, I still miss messages all the
Same
time.
here. And I don't even
I
have
don't
any.
have a lot of
No.
followers in that sense.
Exactly.
So imagine having like 300, 500,000 of them. You'd see nothing.
Yeah.
Because if I get 100 likes, all the comments are gone.
Exactly.
Like I have to go into the post
Yeah.
and check.
And if you're super busy, if like those people, I assume are, then they wouldn't take
Yeah.
time to go in and actually read every comment.
Every
on
comment.
The, no,
Yeah.
No. So
It is tricky. Some people do
mm,
and some people don't. And to some extent, if you have that many followers,
Yeah.
because it is fucking impossible. So I would say just like scour the internet, write shit down, like weigh your options, think, am I the person that would enjoy? Because for me, the problem wasn't that I wouldn't be painting in class. I'd definitely fuck up color theory and I'd probably paint and I'd do that stuff. But as soon as they had me on art history, we're going to read about some motherfucker that lived a bazillion years ago, I have no interest. Like, I don't care about fucking biographies. Biographies are not going to make me a better artist unless I have the interest for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not...
I mean, I can understand how you mean, but
No, but I'm saying that if you don't have an interest for it and it becomes like a mental chore,
then you don't go to that class and you just fuck off.
yeah, that I'm fine with. But if... Because of what
That's what I
what
do.
happens with a lot of the art school stuff, everyone can't, like, they don't have it in them to skip. You know what I
No,
mean?
no,
Like,
no.
that's the thing. And
I'm not encouraging you to skip.
yeah,
You need
but that's
those
what I'm
fucking
saying.
Credits.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because otherwise, you might not get, your
Yeah.
whatever the fuck it is and it might disqualify you from other things as well. I have no idea how it works. I never went to school. But my problem has always been the 80% of the fluff that
Yeah.
I have to do
Yeah.
to do the 20% that I really want to do.
And out of those 20%, there's maybe 5% you really want to do.
Really want to do exactly that I'm really passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather just focus 100% on that shit with, like, oh, today we're going to paint with charcoal that I hate.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that because it's still applicable to what I do. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. Like, if you don't try it, you don't know.
You don't know exactly. And I've tried it on several occasions. And I think I do better today than I ever did before because I couldn't draw for shit when I actually did try it. And digital art, like I've talked about, opened that door for me. So I discovered color. And then in that way, I learned color theory. And I still suck at it. But I have a will to learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's opened up that door now.
it opened it up like a fucking Pandora's box. And now I can't shut it. So it's just like, find out who you are, like what type of like learning you enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, is it visual? Is it talking? Is it doing? Is it, whatever the fuck it is. And then adapt your education.
Maybe that's why, like, I'd say university, those types of grades count in a different way because then that's you physically applying to do this thing and it's your choice. Because
Yeah, definitely. But
you have to be a legal adult to actually apply to this
yeah,
school or this course or whatever it is, and then that will be a big merit for whatever job you're applying for.
yeah,
If it's the same field. So in that way, yes, I get it, and it's a plus to have that piece of paper.
yeah.
But I mean,
definitely.
the last class I had in Australia, I had to like discard or just
Why?
not go to because I got too much work with the tattoo stuff.
Oh shit, yeah.
So I couldn't afford to not be in the tattoo shop
Yeah, need
for
money, yeah.
half of the week. I needed to be there more. So the last assignment of the last class, I just didn't do at all. And because I didn't do just that one, all the other ones I got sort of top marks on.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get my piece of paper because
Yeah.
I didn't do that one last assignment.
Yeah, that is just bananas.
So that was just like, well, okay. I mean, I'm not super sad because I didn't want that piece of paper anyway.
Yeah, you didn't do it for the paper
No,
or
I
the
just wanted to
grades, right?
stay in the country. And I was totally upfront with that with every teacher I had. I'm like, just so you know, I'm here to do the bare minimum. I'm just here because I want to stay in the country longer. No offense to you and your class, but just so you know, that's my bar. Like I was totally transparent with where I was coming
But
from.
I think that's important as well. Just knowing
I was
where-
fucking older than most of the teachers too. So
Oh shit. Yeah, okay, cool.
So, but yeah, I got along great with all
Listen,
of them,
kid.
though. Pretty much. Because, like,
We can start doing that now. Finally.
I mean, but just imagine yourself. You're sitting in an art class
Yeah.
and you worked in the field that this guy is sort
Is-
of guessing and talking about. He hasn't worked in this himself.
Okay.
And he's talking about, well, in the graphic design world, like, this is what you would encounter and blah, blah, blah. And I would just raise my hand and, like, well, actually, no, not really. Like, the way we have meetings and the way we do this is more like we do here and here. And, like,
Yeah,
I couldn't help myself.
Yeah,
but, like,
I get it.
so I felt like the biggest idiot every class because I was always the guy, like, well,
in the field.
second guessing and, like,
Questioning, yeah.
questioning the teacher every turn.
No, yeah,
And,
but I guess if
Yeah.
because they might be good at teaching some things, but when it comes to actual, like the way that you work, it's so different from company to company.
Of course.
And there are so many things that you have to learn at the specific location. You can't. No one will ever be able to teach you.
No.
Like if you work with games, like the companies might have their own game engine, which is where you feed all your graphics into, and you might need to learn that engine, that specific one, if they're not using Unity or something else.
Exactly. It's almost always their own thing.
But mostly because Unity costs a lot, I think, when you actually launch games. But
yeah,
that's why people choose to use their own engines. It's
Yeah.
like cheaper. They can add features to it, but usually they're not as good.
no.
But that's stuff you can't learn outside of that workplace.
yeah.
Because I worked in something called Fiction Factory, which is King's own, like a game engine thingamajig.
Okay.
I have no use for that knowledge whatsoever in anything else that I'll ever do in my life, except like the basic idea of how programs work.
Yeah.
Like you can feed information into this slot and then add a skin for that slot. Like there is no other application like software or game engine that works exactly like it. Like I understand the principles of how game engines work, but it's not applicable. I couldn't just go into Unity and find the same things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I could find like they share similarities, but if I open Unity, it's not going to be aha. No, it'll just be confusing.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that you learn at these places are, so if you can just nail down the drawing and becoming good at whatever the fuck it is you want to do in art, and if you don't know, like Robert said, if you go to art school, they'll introduce you to different things unless the school sucks. So there's that, like the balance between learning and the school just sucking.
Exactly.
I think just like weigh those options heavily.
And I think a good thing is
And you
take
might
your
be,
time.
Yeah, I think so. Take your time, but it also might be like it might not be the school. It might be you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying that, like, put some emphasis on yourself. Like, what kind of fuckwit am I? Like, because I couldn't focus for shit.
No.
And I hated 80% of what they were teaching because every time I checked the curriculum, like what they were going to teach, it was going to be 80% bullshit. And that was one of the biggest reasons why I didn't want to do any of it because I wanted to draw 100%.
Yeah.
And that wasn't on the table anywhere. So I would say, like, what is your return investment for getting indebted?
Yeah, pretty much. What would you get out of it? Is it worth the money you're going to be putting down?
Yeah, and especially if you live in a country where it's going to bite you in the ass.
Yeah. But again, like, I mean, hopefully we don't sound as messy as I feel like we are.
No, we're great, dude. We're so good.
But yeah, so the takeaway here is that we're both for and against school. But
there's no right or wrong. No. Yeah, there's no right or wrong.
But the biggest takeaway is that, like, again, I didn't study to become this one thing. Like, when I went into school, I went in still blind, not knowing what I wanted to do, except something with drawing. And I leaned against my education to almost sort of guide me and show me what I wanted to do. So I depended on the school to, like, show me what will I be working with. And they didn't. So, yeah, I thought I wanted to do this one thing, and I, like, really went all in, got the job I wanted, realized it wasn't what I wanted, and then back to square one, pretty much.
Yeah, shit, dude. I remember that shit.
Yeah.
Because you were only doing graphic design as well. You did, like, some illustrations, but it was mostly logos and, you know, like,
pretty much
floor plans or whatever the fuck it was. Just like...
And then I did some really bad sort of advertisement stuff.
Yeah.
I've done so much shit that I hate, that I definitely know I hate.
Yeah.
So I will never, ever be working in an ad agency ever again, for sure. Working with books, I have, like, I don't know, the biggest understanding for both sides of it. Like, being an illustrator for books, I know the pains of being never charged or paid the amount that you want or need, but also knowing from the publisher's standpoint that they don't have enough money to give the artist or get the artist they want, for one, or pay the artist that has said yes the amount of money that they want. Like, it's just hamster wheel of just shit. So, like, all of the stuff that I've done has given me a lot of good information that I can use maybe in different parts of my life. But
do you have any, like, last recommendation or, like, one final tip? I have one thing that I want to say, and then we can shut this topic.
I would say, again, my last recommendation is take your time. But if you choose to go to school, don't see it as this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. See it as eliminating all the stuff that you maybe thought you wanted to do, but realized that you don't want to do.
Like, test everything.
Exactly.
Like, test the waters, pretty much.
Yeah,
just, like,
dip your toe, I guess. Yeah,
and,
that's the biggest takeaway.
Okay. And what I'm going to tell you guys is, like, make it, like, once you make the choice, if you go to art school, make sure that you're one of those people that'll do the work. Because if you don't do the work, you're going to be one of those fuck-ups that does 3 years for, like, no reason.
Yeah.
But if you can, like Robert said, sort of eliminate what you don't want to do, that's good, but it's not worth getting indebted for. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's, like, I'd prefer you went to school somewhere where you felt, like, a passion for what you're going to learn. So check the curriculum. Because if you're like me and it's 80% just theories about shit that doesn't apply to your artwork, figure that shit out. But I would say that if you choose not to go to school, imagine that money, you save that money up and you have that as a buffer instead, you know. And then you do you study on your own. Use some of that money to buy, you know, like, good courses that teach you fundamentals about things you want to do, and you learn that shit. And then you have a buffer to lean on rather than having a debt to lean on.
Yeah.
So,
well, another thing you get from school that we haven't talked about is contacts.
Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of people that I've met don't have even that, and that's what makes me so sad.
Yeah.
But some do. Yeah. But I think it's that all depends on the type of person you are,
Of course.
and the type of fucking teachers that you have. Because some teachers that, like, people from this podcast, when they've reached out, like, I go to art school, and they're always like, the teachers are always like ripping my art to shreds, like, because they don't like the style that I draw in.
And that's bullshit.
That is so bad. Like, I totally get that you want your students to learn, like fundamentals, like basics, and be able to draw real life and, whatever the fuck they're into. But you can't discourage people from doing what they love because you have a different preference.
No.
So fuck all those people. But I'm just saying that just you know yourself better than most of us. And, your parents and some fucking curator at school, they can guide you, but they can't make these decisions for you. Because if you go to school and you can't focus, waste of time, dead. But if you can't focus, then go to school, soak up all that fucking information that you can't, put in the hours of drawing, like learn everything that you can learn, and getting talk to the people that matter. And it'll be great because there are people that have went to art school and I've met a lot of them that are good as well.
Yeah.
So remember, we're not like pissing on art schools, like all art schools suck. They don't.
No. And actually, just so people don't think I'm a big slacker, I did all the work for school. It was just the last thing in this last class. But it might have sounded like I was the type of guy that just like, no, I don't like this, and then I don't do that. But no, I realized I didn't like doing it because I did it. Like, you have to actually do the assignments.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, just saving my ass a bit.
Retconning.
Yeah.
Retconning. Yeah. So just like make an informed decision, I guess, is what we're saying about your future.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd say like the gap you have from 9th grade to, or from, what is it, year 12 then, I guess, like after high school, you have like, when you start to look for university and stuff, I would say that is the chance you need to go out, see the world, or don't see the world, sit at home and do the Ilias thing and start like teaching yourself stuff, saving money or whatever.
Yeah.
But don't jump into an education just because you have like parents or grandparents or
exactly.
something pushing
so
you,
not worth
pressuring
it.
you.
Yeah.
You need to really take some time off of school and breathe a bit and maybe start realizing what you want to work with. Like that is definitely the biggest takeaway from this ramble that we've been on.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, don't stress anything. Take your time, figure out what you want to do.
I'm not gonna add anything to that. I think that's like we'll go out on that.
Yeah.
Like about this topic. Like it's just fucking do what he said. Just think about it.
Do what we said.
Drop out of school, do cocaine.
Exactly. Or just stay in school and do cocaine. It's all fun.
It's all fun. We're all gonna die in the end.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're all dead soon.
Yeah.
So, with cocaine said,
Let's jump on to the party train.
Sacre bleu.
Right. So now,
Alright.
next section.
Next session.
Tools. So what tools do we have today?
We're just going to talk gadgets now. I actually really wanted to revisit sort of, because the iPad is on the uprise. And I use the iPad a lot.
I use the iPad.
He uses the iPad a
We
lot.
use the
We
iPad.
use the iPad a lot. And I wanted to sort of like pick Robert's brain a little about how he uses it, what he's missing with the iPad, and why I prefer the iPad, and why you prefer the iPad, and yeah, like shortcomings, all that shit.
Interesting.
So yeah.
This is all improvised, by the way.
Yeah, this is totally
Yes.
improvised. I just made that shit
We
up.
actually...
Did not write this.
No. So I'm looking forward to these questions.
Yeah, so why did you buy the iPad? I know you mentioned it, so just a quick recap.
So the quickest recap I can do is my Wacom companion crashed. It started crashing a lot to the point where it was just annoying trying to start it because it would crash during startup. So, and I still had a lot of school left, and I just started working as a tattoo artist. And almost everybody in the shop used an iPad.
Sons of bitches.
And I was the only one when I came in. I was pretty much the only one hand drawing everything on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And the copy machine at the place couldn't flip or mirror an image. So if you came to me and you ordered this tattoo, I drew it up, and then you decided you wanted it on the other arm,
Yeah.
I would have to redraw it by hand. So I would have to trace it on the other side of the paper
Yeah.
and then copy. Like, it took forever.
It's so pointless.
So with that, when I did that the last time, I probably did that 3 or 4 times at that place. I was like, fuck, I need to like fix this. So
I love that you did it the
yeah.
amount of times that you did.
Yeah, of course. I got a lot of work, so that's why I had to do a lot. But yeah, so then I just decided that, okay, so with the money that I'm earning now, finally, I'm going to invest it in an iPad because they had just released the iPad Pro, the latest
the
one.
later one,
With the magnetic pen on it, and I got to try it in the shop, and like the guy who showed it to me was a comic book illustrator as well, just working extra.
Yeah.
Shout out to David. And yeah, I was sold straight away when I tried it, and it just made my life so simple. So with that said, I bought it so I had a device that I could easily transfer between home, school, and work flawlessly. Like,
Awesome.
and it did. Like, it just,
But when it comes to like you've had it for a while now.
yeah.
So what do you feel what are the benefits and what are the shortcomings for you?
At this stage, really, I don't have any shortcomings unless I want something printed on paper at home.
Okay.
Because at work we have a wireless printer, so it just makes it even simpler than
You
it
just
used to
send it
be.
over.
Yeah, I just print, and because
Directly from the iPad, right?
From the
yeah,
pad,
like
yeah.
I do at home.
Yeah, and normally it works so perfectly that like I take a picture with the iPad on like the arm or something.
Exactly that.
And when I draw it up, it's almost scale 1-to-1 when it's printed the size I need it. So I don't even have to start resizing the stuff that I'm
That's
doing.
sweet.
So it's really simplified a lot of different parts in my process, like up until the actual tattoo part,
That's
which is
awesome.
why I bought it
Yeah.
again. So it's definitely, it saved me so much money. Like I've become so much quicker with everything that I do. The only thing that is like, and this is nitpicking is that I would like to get that texturized sort of film to put on it, so it still feels almost like a piece of paper. Because now it's just on the glass or with that protective film, and it's like slippery, and I'm still not 100% used to it. Like I want to get a little bit of
friction. Yeah.
pretty much.
Just get like traction, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's what it's called. I don't know.
But
Friction traction.
I only use Procreate, and a Mesograph is the other one that I use, which creates mandala.
Procreate has that built in, dude.
Yeah, I know, but this one is like
Easier?
easier, and you can do a lot more. Like, you can just make it into 28 pieces of a pie.
I think you can in Procreate too.
Probably now. When I got it, it was a little bit limited,
I have
and
no idea.
you don't.
Maybe
you didn't
can.
have
I
the
have no idea.
because this
I don't
program.
like mandalas.
A Mesograph is just for mandalas. So you
that's
have the
awesome.
round
Yeah.
shapes, and you have. If I investigated Procreate more, you could probably do
Dude,
all of it now.
If it's so easy to set up in the other one, I would just use that one.
And
if
that
it's not a
one's-
big hassle.
It's they've upgraded that one too, so it's even better now.
Sweet.
I don't do a lot of mandala stuff, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really don't use it that much. Procreate all the way, and it's just getting better and better. I love just the preset pens or brushes they
brushes?
have
Yeah,
are
yeah.
amazing. I really didn't have to buy any new stuff.
No, I didn't either. I just bought stuff to try it out
Yeah,
more
same
than
here.
I needed to. Use the basic ones, and I modify some.
I don't even modify them. I don't need to. So I bought Matt's brush set.
Oh, yeah, I should buy that
Matt
one as well,
Hubble.
just to,
Uh,
Matt Hubble, shout
Shout
out,
out.
brother.
Yeah, bro. So I bought his. I love all of his brushes. Really cool, especially Ragnarok. I thought perfect for
I
my.
haven't tried, yeah.
Because
Because he had like an airbrush with texture on it as well, right?
Yeah,
I
so you
want
get
that
a
one.
great splatter brush, and then Ragnarok is sort of a messy brush which works perfectly with my geotrash style.
Oh, okay,
so
yeah, cool.
just easy. And then I bought a essential tattoo brush set.
Oh yeah, that one.
I don't remember where the site that I bought it from was. It was like $20, and it has everything you might ever want if you're ever drawing a tattoo. So those are like the extra plus things that I got just because I wanted to try out some new stuff like you. But apart from that, I'm super, super happy with it. I think the only issue would be, like we talked about, the size limitation that I have with my pad.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't go like full poster size, like really big. But I mean,
Well, we can give a little description on what not to buy if you want to draw bigger and stuff like at the end.
because I don't do any bigger illustration stuff anymore, anyways. So like for me, I'm fine with just having like I don't know what the biggest size would be, maybe A3 that I could work with flawlessly. But that's fine.
Yeah,
I only do comic book covers now, and they don't have to be
that big. Yeah.
no. So yeah, and negatives. I mean, it's obviously a pain in the ass when the battery is running low and you don't have your charger.
Always have a charge.
You know, that's the typical stuff. I don't have anything negative to say about it, really. It's never crashed. It's always been.
Oh no, it's never crashed for
like-
me either. Or like.
Even like getting a new tip for the pen was super easy.
Yeah, it's seamless. Like I've
'Cause
never changed mine. I still have the
I
same
accidentally dropped it and it hit with the tip straight on
break
the
it.
ground. So
But
it
you
got,
get
like,
two
flat.
with every pen you buy.
This one came with.
Or with an extra one, I mean.
So I didn't get an extra tip, I think, or I've lost it. But anyways, it was cheap to
Okay.
buy a set. You get like 4 tips for whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's super easy to switch them out too.
Yeah.
Like everything is easy. It's
Yeah.
Apple.
And what I like about it, it's very like lightweight,
Mhm.
depending on the size, I guess. But I'm a strong guy, so I think the biggest one is also
Definitely.
super lightweight.
Compared to the companion, yeah.
Yeah, dude, everything is lightweight to the compared to the companion. But the companion has another, like it can run Photoshop well, you know, like so that's pretty sweet. But I still prefer the iPad for me personally. The only thing I would say I'm missing is the ability to, like when I do stuff at work, we use Photoshop and layer styles, depending on what we're doing, because layer styles save a lot of time.
Yeah.
And Procreate does not have layer styles. And that is a problem. So, but for
what
the
do you mean with layer styles? though?
layer styles is that you can, like, for example, if I make a frame, just like a black or a white, yellow frame, doesn't matter. Like it has no details. It's just a rectangle with an empty, like cut hole in the middle.
Yep.
When you add layer styles, you can make it look metallic, gold.
Okay.
Like you add a bevel and emboss.
Effect on
Exactly. So
right.
you work with these effects called layer styles, which they add like a shadow and a light surface. And you can choose, like, if it's at the top or the bottom, like an inner glow, an outer glow.
Yeah.
Like, if it's sort of imprinted on the, like you can
Embossed,
make embossed, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it can look like skin. It can look, like, or leather, actually, not Swedish, Queen. It can look, you can add textures to it. You can really play around with it and get some realistic stuff that doesn't look, cheesy, like bad. It just looks like the real thing.
But that's so far away from what I do. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't even have noticed that I needed it at this point.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I work in a different field, so it is.
Yeah, I mean,
you save so
would
much
be,
time. Yeah,
you would be the guy to ask more about
yeah.
this sort of stuff. That's why, I mean, you get to try out the
companion,
the beta.
Oh
like
yeah, the Procreate beta.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, you know what you're talking about, and you use it in a way that I don't.
Yeah,
like I draw on it, but it's like I could just as easily do this exact same thing with the pen and paper. Like that's how I use
totally
my
get it.
iPad.
I totally get it.
So I don't need the fancy stuff.
Yeah. So that's why I still love my Surface Pro, although they didn't get back to me when I wrote them, when I discovered that I forgot to mail them. I think I did at least. They never got back to me, so I'm guessing
You're out of the game.
Yeah, but I still love my Surface though. Like it's an awesome piece, like an awesome machine that is even lighter than the iPad that I have. It's smaller as well, but so that makes sense. But I can use Photoshop and do those things, and I think those are my two main machines that I like using. And I think my favorite part about the iPad besides Procreate, like Procreate is awesome.
It's so good.
The thing is you can paint something on it. You can post progress pics, just by screenshotting them, which is awesome, and it's seamless.
Yeah.
And then it records everything you do. So you have playback of your process as well. So if you painted something cool, you can show your followers, like either not a full length one, but you can at least show it, 7 times faster than you drew it, or whatever, 15. I don't know what they have.
Yeah. Or if you just, add
it's a time lapse pretty much. So yeah,
get a basic video editing program, and you
just
can
slow it or speed it up.
Yeah, super easy.
But that's pretty cool. Like it makes it, as a content creator, if you're one of those, it gives you a lot to work with.
And it's right there.
Yeah, it doesn't need. Like it
don't
requires so
switch.
little from you. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it comes in a format that you can use immediately. It doesn't come in like MOV or like MOV or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Just like something you can use immediately and just post. So I really love that. And I love the pencil and that you're able to tilt it.
Exactly.
Because I can shade big areas fast, which is something I love. Because I don't hate it, but it just takes too long. And if it takes too long, I lose interest, or like I get bored, or I get stressed. Like it's one of the, depending on what I'm doing. If it's just for me, I can shade forever, like it's fine. But usually I need to get shit done. So it's nice to just be able to do like one stroke and I've covered the whole face, or, whatever the fuck it is you're doing. For those of you looking into drawing big canvases, the more storage you have, the bigger canvases you can have, and the more layer it'll be able to have as well.
Exactly.
The bigger the thing, the fewer the layers. There are some limitations to what you can do. But I've been printing from it as well, like actual artwork. The only thing I would recommend is that you export it to a computer, though.
Okay.
Because when I sent it through the iPad, like I saved it on the iPad, compression happens and the file became from 80 to 4 megabytes or something like that.
All right.
So I would recommend you like save it to your Dropbox and then grabbing it from there to whatever service you want to use it. So, but that said, I printed the Zelda painting that I painted on the iPad, and it turned out fucking awesome. It looks as backlit as it was,
on the iPad.
On the iPad, yeah. So it looked pretty much like a reproduction of my iPad screen rather than a painting. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. That'd be nice.
So if you want to buy like an iPad, just get the latest one and get at least above 100 gigabytes in storage.
If you're going to be working professionally with it.
Yeah, because you just don't want to be where Robert discovered that it doesn't work because he bought.
And it was so annoying because I needed to print 70 times 100 size.
That's a Zelda print. Yeah, that's a Zelda print.
A normal size poster, really. But it just wouldn't allow me to go that big. So I had to go 60, 90 instead.
Not a cool compromise.
No. So they had to scale it up in the thing, and that made it a little bit blurry.
Yeah, so of course.
But it still worked. But don't do what I did.
Yeah. But I would say the iPad is a good buy for anyone doing like pure illustrations, light animations. You can do that now as well. Like there is some support to it. They even in Procreate 5 they have onion skinning, so you can do some cool shit with that as well. So you can see your previous and your, like you can see like what the fuck do you call it? Like
your animation flow or
exactly. You can see like the
process.
frame before and after, or like your previous frame at least, so you can just like draw the next one.
It's
with
like
that
having
one
tracing paper over your latest.
Exactly. So it has some nifty features. I wouldn't say they're perfect yet, because that's a fairly new, but it's the second iteration of their animation feature, Haven't had time to test it out properly, but you can't go wrong with an iPad and Procreate, I would say.
No.
Unless you need to open Photoshop files with layer styles and effects.
Yeah.
Because then
That's
it won't
not gonna
open
work.
them. Yeah,
No.
it won't open them. But if it's just for pure illustration, I think the iPad is an awesome device.
And you can work the opposite way. Like if you need to do that stuff, you can do all the groundwork in the iPad, but then
Yeah.
export it as a PSD file.
Yeah.
And then just do the effects in
Yeah.
Photoshop. If you need it to do that stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
But it is that extra step. And I'm sure
Oh,
like
no,
in the future,
if you
they're
have a
gonna
Mac
be able-
computer,
Yeah.
you just press share,
Yeah, and it's there.
and then your computer pops up. You click it, done. It opens up in Photoshop.
That's
It's
why I love it
seamless.
so much.
Yeah,
Because
same.
I have everything I have now is Apple,
Yeah.
which sucks actually because I don't like the brand anymore.
No,
because
neither
they
do
become-
I. I think they're just shitting on everything.
It just feels like a douchebag brand in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same.
Just yeah,
They're making
just,
so many dumb design choices.
yeah.
Like,
it's
I don't need
also
my
extremely expensive too. Like
Yeah. With what you're
ridiculously.
getting, it's
Yeah.
not.
Not that we are complaining
No,
that much.
no.
'Cause we
I don't
have
buy
it.
shit. It's work stuff. So,
Yeah.
but I don't think I would personally buy an Apple computer
No.
home, like unless it was one of the older ones, maybe just like something that I would. But I just don't like. There are no ports anymore. There's nothing. You have to do that dongle jungle. You know, like you just
Yeah.
get so many dongles just to like charge your phone
Exactly.
at the same time that you're using a USB.
Yeah, you don't even have a normal USB.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Port
Like I
anymore.
don't mind the USB-C. Like there's nothing wrong with that, but I need dongles for most of this shit to get like 2 ports or like more ports, you know. It's just not worth it. Like just give me my normal stuff. Why? I don't need my computers to be even thinner.
No.
Like it's like, oh, we made the iPad like 3 millimeters thinner. Like I never had a problem with the thinness of my iPad. Like I never needed it to be thinner.
No.
Like it was so lightweight to begin with that it never mattered. But yeah, spending, millions of dollars on the wrong things.
Yeah, always.
So yeah, Apple is a hard sell, but the iPad I would always recommend. Like I
Yeah.
think it's a nice device.
Yeah.
And now they made it so that you can connect. If you update it to 13, you can actually connect like hard drives and shit to it. I think,
Okay.
which is super because that's like been too long.
Yeah.
like, not supporting those types
exactly.
of features. Yeah,
That's never been supported.
yeah,
with
exactly.
the
So
stuff
now
I've
you can
had.
use it like somewhat like a computer at least.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think they're just gonna milk it for as long until they like the MacBook and the iPad sort of like meet somewhere.
Exactly.
like
They're just gonna meld together, and it's gonna become MacPad.
MacPad. Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
what I thought. As well, like the MacPad Pro, not the regular Mac. No, but yeah, it's a great purchase.
It
though.
is. It
It's
is.
expensive as fuck,
Yeah.
but if you're gonna work with it, it's worth it.
Yeah. No, for sure. I like I said, I made up like the amount of time I saved really just made up for the price it cost. But yeah, I need to actually go and pee. 'cause
Cool.
I can't hold it anymore.
Sweet.
So with that said, moving on.
Yeah, motherfuckers, and we're back with retro. Just echoing it. I was like, "What's his follow-up?" And
Yes, retro.
it's retro time.
Retro time.
So, leaving whatever the fuck we were talking about behind, because Robert had to go pee,
Yes.
and I really don't. Oh shit, iPads. Yeah.
iPads.
Okay, cool. Fuck iPads, and we're gonna be talking about.
PlayStation Now and games.
And I didn't even know it was here. PlayStation Now, go!
So PlayStation Now, for anybody who hasn't realized
Done
it's
cocaine yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty much, I guess, Netflix but video games. Like it's Steam. It's but PlayStation's own sort of network where you can just stream games instead of having to download them or buy them. You can still download the games as well,
You can?
Yeah. And it's so what I know, and it's a very limited knowledge, but I think it's 110 Swedish crowns per month.
110?
Yeah, so
That's it?
100 crowns, for the whole supply of games that they have, and they're continuously putting in more titles. So the coolest thing is that they're releasing or re-releasing a lot of the older games that you might not be able to find on a PlayStation 4 anymore if you were into something on the PS2 or 3. Like
they go that far back?
Older games like that, yeah. I don't know how far back they've gone, but I just played The Force Unleashed, like the first game.
Shit, was that? I don't remember if that was...
It's not...
probably PlayStation 3. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 3. But yeah, because I've been craving that game forever, just because the meaningless fun of going around doing... throwing people with your force powers.
Yeah. I really like the idea of that game. I was just sad that it was sort of like the same environment.
It's so repetitive.
Yeah, but otherwise, I really love like taking stormtroopers and just like using the force to like fling him.
And also throwing your lightsaber.
Yes,
like controlling
always.
it. All that stuff.
Throwing swords.
Awesome.
That come back to you. Like, cool shit.
But yeah. So, I mean... Definitely the best thing about this is that you're able to just test out all of these different games, and then you can buy whichever one you really love. But you don't even have
really
to buy
need
it.
to buy them. Yeah, just play them.
It's 100 crowns a month. It's like a Netflix subscription. I think that's what I pay for Netflix. If you need more than one device.
Exactly, one device. Yeah, it's 110.
Yeah.
I think I paid the same, like 4 screens or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so... I started out testing a few different games. So Star Wars, The Force Unleashed, and then I tried this. It almost reminded me of Broken Sword, you know, those old mystery type games.
Yeah, puzzle adventures.
Exactly. And so you're like a detective on a train trying to solve different crimes and stuff. So, but it is point and click type.
Shit, which one is that?
It's
that
just
sounds so familiar.
Raven, I think it's called, or
was it?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
But again, like I lost interest in the games really fast. But then I finally got to try Saints Row 4. I think it's got something like in the title. It's like something precedent or whatever.
Was it
Saints? Yeah.
I thought it was Get Out of Hell.
No.
Oh no, maybe that's
like
another one.
Saints for President or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I tried that one out, and I've always wanted to try those games. Never had the chance to, and finally got a chance to try it, and fucking love it.
Dude, they're silly as shit.
So good.
And they started off as a GTA clone.
Yeah.
Like 1 and 2 are just ripoffs. Like they're so bad, and it's all about throwing feces and shit. And I think
Re-elected.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because that's the cool thing about that series. Like from the third one that I've played, and onward, they've really just taken what they want to do. Just like they found their voice, sort of.
Yeah.
And they're just doing crazy fucking shit with it. I love those
so
games.
Much fun.
But I've only played the third, and I saw some of the re-elected one, but I haven't had time to play that one. I finished the third one, though, like, entirely. Like, I did everything.
Oh, nice.
Because it was so much... Like, it was such a blast to play that game.
Yeah, it's just one of those mindless, fun, pastime type of games. Like I just told you, it's the first game in many, many years that I've played, and you just realized, like, 4 hours has gone by without you even noticing. Because I remember Anna went to bed at 12 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm just going to play a little bit. I'll be right in. And then it was 4 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Shit, like, dude. Time machine.
Shit. I got work tomorrow.
Oh, man. That game made me laugh so much because it is like that over-the-top 90s action, like blended with like a nice layer of humor. So there is one scene. I don't remember like the mission exactly. But you're fighting some fucking bad guys. Shit is like.
Is it aliens in that one too, or
they come they come in that one like later on in the game.
Oh, all right.
and then there comes like a special military unit to stop them and you and so forth.
All right.
And you're fighting everyone. But the fun thing is like this mission, you're making your way towards a rocket in some type of facility, and then the closer you get to the rocket or some such, they start playing the song from Armageddon, the Aerosmith.
Stay awake just to hear you breathe.
And I think you're on the rocket or something, and it's like taking off, and it's just silly as shit.
That song is in the sequel too.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's where?
No. It's just on the radio.
It's on the radio, yeah. But I just love that. Like when they take those like cheesy songs of the, like early 2000s, wherever the fuck that movie came out, and just like use it in such a good way.
Perfect.
Like even the ending to that game without ruining it, there's like you have to make choices in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And this song that they're playing is like "I Need a Hero" or like "Holding Out for a Hero."
Oh,
I think
yeah,
the song.
yeah.
I need a hero. I'm calling out for a hero. Yeah,
so
that
good.
song it starts playing like you just like you're driving towards like a place, and then suddenly like dun, 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 just start. You're like, what? And it's so good. And then the options like, oh, you have to do this, or you could choose to do this. It's just so over the top, and everyone's killing everything and shooting, and everyone's like the whole game just turns into a war zone. That song starts playing super loudly. It's beautiful.
Nice.
And just like stupid shit like that makes those games, they're not in any way the best game in the world.
Hell no.
But you play them because they're fun.
Yeah. That's
And-
exactly why I started playing games in the beginning.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
and
That's what I mean. Like for silly shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially number 4, it's just like perfectly tailored for me, like with the interests of superheroes and
Oh, dude.
Matrix and sci-fi stuff like that.
Same with the previous
It's-
one.
Yeah, and it's just this perfect blend of all of that. And the gratification of quick leveling up.
Yeah,
and
dude.
just
yeah.
getting like the superpowers and getting those really quickly to like, I can fly now in the game, and
Yeah,
I've
dude.
only played it 2 days or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, super strength, like all of these fucking things
Yeah,
that you've
stupid.
always wanted to have in like GTA.
Yeah.
Pretty much, to be honest. Like that's the sort of stuff they just implemented into the game, and it's perfect. Yeah, I still need to keep playing it and see
Yeah.
what comes after being in like this Matrix world that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole point of getting the superpowers and stuff is to mess up the Matrix.
Yeah, those
Thing.
hackers.
So you need to do really ridiculous, destructive things
Yeah.
to fuck up the system, which means you can do anything and blow up pretty much anything. It's so
Dude, I think
so
in the
much
third
fun.
one, you could get a weapon called, I think it was like God Fist. So you could punch people and they just exploded or some
Oh, yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
And
you can
there's the
kinda do that
dildo,
now.
the sword, like there's tons of like weapons that you could have. Like there,
Yeah.
and even the guns and stuff, like you get the normal shit in the beginning. And then the further along you came, you just like, you get this like super high tech weapons. You get the alien weapon. Like it's all just over the fucking. I got a scooter that could fly. At some point, and you have like a penthouse, and you have your like I'm gonna take my scooter out for a ride, and you just fly out of the. It's just over the top, and I love the whole thing where you can just like parkour over people.
Yeah.
Where you just like, or it's not really parkour. It's just like what do you call it when you skip over someone's back? Like that.
Oh yeah.
Hoppa kråka in Swedish, right? That thing.
I don't know what it's in Swedish, but yeah. Yeah. You
No, shit. Hoppa groda or some such.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
frog jumps. I don't know. Fuck. You just jump over someone's
jump
back.
over
You
people.
put your hands on someone's back and you jump over
Yeah,
them. I don't
yeah.
know what it's called.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, fuck it.
All right.
But
yeah.
it's like silly shit like that, and you can also do like wrestler moves. So you can just jump around someone and then just like roll around them and then toss them.
Yeah, they've
just-
gone a little bit further in this one, I think, because you do that, and then you always finish off with just stomping their heads so they explode.
Ooh,
Like it's
what?
so bloody.
Yeah, it's super brutal.
But it's
But I
also
love
cool.
the dick punch as well, that you could just go up to someone and just like hit them in the nuts. And that's just side effect, like side things, Like
Yeah.
they play no part in this
No,
game,
no.
but they've still given you the option to go and just like nut punch someone. Like,
Exactly. It's
it's
perfect.
just so silly, and Yeah, I don't know. Like they've managed to like take the silly. Like I wouldn't necessarily think like dick punching is fun in that sense, but they've made it into like they've balanced it so well with like the mechanics, the game mechanics. They're so like well polished enough for you to be able to enjoy this shit.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and that's what makes it like the way they've done it makes it fun. I wouldn't like if someone told me, "Oh, you can go around hitting people in the nuts." I wouldn't find that like particularly funny.
No.
But this game does it so well that you can enjoy like a
I love
punch
that
in
we're
the
promoting a game that we're punching nuts.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
that's the
but
thing.
that's what I was not expecting this game to be good. It's when I
No.
bought it, it cost nothing.
Mm.
Like I got it as like, oh, if you buy like two games, you get. And I bought, like a good game, and then I bought this as I want to try it, and it's so cheap, like 60 crowns or something. I was like, fuck yeah, I'll buy that. Because I saw some of the trailers, and I like, okay, they're really going over the top.
Yeah.
And I was like, the game that I actually bought that I was going to play, I was like, let's just put that on hold. And I was playing Saints Row until I fucking played through the whole thing.
So good.
And it's like what you're saying, that instant gratification. And I think something that we've talked about a lot on the podcast is like whatever inspiration you get, use that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it did work. Like for me, like that game made me happy because it was so, like it didn't take anything serious, not even itself.
No.
And just made fun of the whole sort of action over the
Exactly.
top stuff.
I think that's what it's got going for
Yeah.
it as like the top thing, that it just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
let's break all the rules that you have in any other game
yeah.
and like, yeah, just go nuts with everything.
Because GTA went the more serious route, which
Exactly.
I also appreciate.
Yeah.
But
so
I kind of
good games.
like this sort of like, because this game is more, like it doesn't feel as violent as GTA.
No.
Because GTA it's a bit serious.
So
So
like you said, it's more real.
yeah, it's more real. So you get more uncomfortable when shit happens there. But whereas in this game, it feels like it's fake.
Yeah.
But in a way where you can sort of like enjoy this silly shit. Like what happens if I shoot, like you can I think there's a car where you can like crash into people and shoot them out of a cannon on top of your...
Yeah.
It's
I
just
remember
like...
you filmed that and sent it to me.
Yeah, like
at some
ages
point.
ago.
Yeah.
It's like a cat car with a like a like a cannon on the top. Like it's so stupid. And I think there's like a zombie outbreak. There's like every action movie, like horror movie that you can imagine is in this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like in this one I have like you got some flying vehicles that transform between like hovering and jet planes and shit like
exactly
that.
like that.
And yeah, customizable cars and everything that you can
Always
from
fun,
GTA.
right?
Yeah.
And you can customize the character as well. You can go
Yes.
to like this plastic surgery places and you can just like remake your character.
I made mine into like this extremely ridiculous, I don't know what, pointy ears like an elf, and he had like skull makeup in his face and shiny silvery skin. Like I just went all out nuts.
Yeah, dude, I remade mine so many times. Just like I made him like super buff, big guy that looked like I don't know, like an assassin, with like silver hair and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Next time, I just put him on high heels, like half naked, with like because I got like some weird like purple clothes. I was like, I'm gonna go for like a drag. Like Prince, but in drag, and then just went like super like awful makeup and shit, and then like just guns, just like the biggest arsenal of guns. And yeah, exactly. And you just no, I even think I had like one of those like I think I was naked. He was wearing like he didn't have any pants on, because they
just blur it out.
Yeah, they blur it out. I had a little backpack and high heels, It's just like, just because you can, you have to try it all. And
course.
it's so much fun when you attack all the different gangs and it starts getting into a war zone. And you're there with your little backpack and like a space helmet and you're just shooting everything, It's just like, you just laugh at the absurdity of what you're doing. And you're being attacked from the air, like aliens are coming and you're just like this fucking, like,
Yeah.
It's just that the scenario would never, like, there is no movie where this would happen. Like, it's so
It couldn't
out
work.
of the, yeah.
It just wouldn't
It
work.
just wouldn't work. Like, you wouldn't even find it funny.
No,
But you just sit there and smirk
exactly.
by yourself because this shit is so ridiculous.
Hmm.
And then they mix it with, well-timed jokes and hints and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, every now and then on the missions. And the missions are fun.
Exactly. They're like, fun, good 80s action movies.
Yeah.
Good,
But taken to, like,
extremes.
exactly. Like, just like 200%. Just like more explosions.
Yes.
Even more explosions. Just like keep adding to the chaos. It's a fun game if you want to play, like, just to relax.
Exactly.
Like, you don't have to remember shit. You don't
No.
have to focus on the story.
There's no prestige. There's nothing.
No. It's just like you can do crazy stunts. You can do, like, stupid shit. It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
It is.
The only thing I haven't tried is the co-op, obviously.
I don't think that existed in third.
Oh, really? No, so here you have different missions that you have to do co-op.
How?
I don't know. So I haven't tried it because I don't have anybody to play with. But, apart from that, I've tried pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm going to keep playing this game until I don't have the free thing. So I didn't say that, but I did just to try out the PlayStation Now thing.
Mm-hmm.
They had a 7-day trial, just a free test thing for early users. So whenever you hear this, maybe they've removed that option. I don't know. But I definitely recommend it because it's for free and you get all the games that you can ever want for 7 days. So if you know that you have like a few days off of work or something and you just want to stay
Or
at
you
home,
still live at home and your parents pay for everything.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is the perfect opportunity
Exactly.
to invest.
then go nuts
Yeah.
because it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like I haven't had Steam. I haven't used that in any way.
Dude, I have Goat Simulator and American Truck Simulator.
So-
One I bought, one I got for free from my friend
There you
on my
go.
birthday.
So yeah, for people that use Steam, I'm sure this is like nothing.
Yeah.
But for me, this was a
But
whole
I'm more of a
new
console
world.
gamer.
Yeah, me too. I hate PC games.
I don't like PC games.
It's
either.
just it never works for me. Like I'm so unused to.
I don't have a
that way.
PC.
No,
I haven't. That's the thing. I haven't had a computer that was stationary since Pentium 2. Yeah, exactly. So figure that one out.
Yeah.
I had a Pentium 2. It had 32 megs of memory, I think, or RAM. I don't remember. It was shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whatever it was shit. Like, the internal storage was shit. Everything was shit. So, yeah.
And just filled it up with.
And it cost like 20,000 or 25,000 at the time.
It's insane.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fucking insane.
insane.
I think we still have our old computer too somewhere.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Surf's up, dude. Surf's up, dude.
Those movies.
Those,
Oh my god. Animation.
yeah, what the hell was that software?
That was
you
like
had?
some animation program that I had.
Surf's up, dude. Surf's up.
I just made
dude.
movies with things killing things.
Yeah, it was just like you could get these little like stickers pretty much.
Yeah.
And you could make little animations with them.
Yeah. And yeah, you could paint in blood if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It's so good.
The good old times.
I totally forgotten about that fucking
Surf's
thing.
up, dude. Yeah, I just remembered it when we were talking about computers. Yeah. Surf's up, dude. Surf's up. Just like super.
Oh man, I should find that and see if I still have those saved on the computer and see if I could actually see them. It'd be fun to see what the fuck my
Yeah.
brain was up to back then.
Yeah, that shit is always fun. Like,
Oh jeez. Yeah.
Mhm. And I think something that we've mentioned when it comes to games as well is that a lot of these fucking games, if you need reference,
You have it.
you have it there. Yeah, like if you're playing, I think we talked about like, oh shit, what is the game called with the dinosaurs, the robot dinosaurs? Something Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Something Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn has like beautiful beautiful scenery.
Yeah. Ugh.
And I think even Red Dead Redemption 2, the new one, you know,
God
like
of War.
God of War probably has a lot of cool
Yeah,
shit,
yeah,
depending on what you want. Like all these
It's all
games are
there.
offering you, you know, like you can just place your character, like grab a couple of screenshots, or you know, depending on how like clear you need your reference to be, or if it's just like a
Yeah.
guide. But you can get some really nice reference shots from these games, especially if you want, you know, like tricky perspectives. You can like tilt down your camera so you're watching your character from a bit from below, you know, like, and then you know you can really play around with it.
Yeah. Get inventive.
Yeah.
Like try different things out.
And now the games, like the Spider-Man game is a perfect game if you want to draw like New York City shit.
Yeah. I keep
back.
doing screenshots.
No, you don't have to. You can go into photo mode and you can just go around Spider-Man. You can go up his butt. You can fucking just whatever you want to do. No, I'm not kidding. You can just jump in the air, go into photo mode, and then you have him like frozen in the air in the pose that you want, you know, like thwipping or thwapping, whatever the fuck Spider-Man does. Freeze frame that and just fucking grab photos.
Perfect.
And they're like high quality stuff. I've even seen them on like Pinterest and shit where people have, you know, like used like the different. There are so many, like if you have a HDR TV, something like super, you can like play around with the lighting and everything, and you can get some really high res photos of Spider-Man looking awesome. Sweet. So I've seen people actually create like poster like artwork with that photo editor. And they look so good. They're so crisp. So if you need reference, especially if you're drawing Spider-Man specifically.
That game, though.
That game. Oh, my God.
So
I get like a spider boner. Just like, wow, 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 thwip, thwip, yo. It's so good. Like, it's really
Not
good.
in the face, bro.
Not in the
Stop
face.
whipping me.
Yeah. So you can use video games as well, like as a creative reference tool.
Yeah. And I think we've said it like a billion times.
But I still love it.
Yeah, it works. And yeah, that's pretty much everything we have for the
Also,
retro.
The Witcher is a great game for that shit.
The show is coming out pretty soon, just in a couple of weeks.
I'm so excited about that, but I'm also so
pretty
afraid.
scared.
Yeah.
And I just started watching the Watchmen show. Just want to throw that in there.
But we can talk about the Witcher show and the Watchmen next time.
Yeah.
Also, I want to talk about the show that I'm watching.
You're not allowed to.
But I will not now. I just mean like next time.
Yes.
So with that said,
With that said, let's fucking get out of here and get some sleep.
Jab.
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you guys for listening as always.
Exactly.
And if you have any questions or if you want
Can you
us
even do
to,
yourself?
yeah, or if you want us to talk about something special, then either find us on Instagram at Sketchbook Heroes or write us a direct email at hello@sketchbookheroes.com.
Exactly. And if you love us and we aren't too depressing, listen or leave us a thing. You know, what the fuck?
Leave us a comment.
No,
Leave us a
yeah,
review.
or
Rate us.
Yeah, rate us. That's the word I was looking for.
Yes.
Yay,
Yay,
vote. Yeah, give us a
Vote for
vote
Pedro.
on the old iTunes podcast app that you use on your phone.
Yeah,
It's probably called Podcaster.
I think so.
So, yeah, we would appreciate that. It helps us out. Also, check out our partner in crime, 21 Draw,
21
for cool tutorials, books, and shit
Yes.
at 21-draw.com.
Or at 21draw on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yes.
Så, puss och kram.
Puss kram.
See you next week.
See you on the week after this one.
Or actually in 4 weeks.
Whenever.
We're never
Yeah.
sure. Well, yeah.
Until next time, stay awesome.
Never stop.
Never stupid. Energy levels spiking.
Never stop, never stupid.
They love 80s cars.